right, so the first question I have for you guys is, when you first got pregnant and you thought about like giving birth in a hospital.
Call Ursula.
Yes, that is actually what we thought.
Literally, that was the first thought. I don't know what your question was going to be, but it was call Ursula. So now that that's out of the way.
I love this. All right. Outside of call Ursula, when you thought about giving birth in a hospital, when you were picking a doctor, when you were picking a practice, what were the things that you were looking for? What were the things that are important to you?
Personable. When we were looking at our physicians, we went to a practice and we saw 6 different physicians. We tried to see as many as we could, just because you don't know who you're going to get when the day comes unless it's a scheduled induction C-section. So,
and I had heard stories from other moms who were like, we loved our doc, and then come the delivery day, doc wasn't there.
Yeah.
And how much that might have messed with their psyche. So that was a huge piece of why we were like, let's meet as many as we can, because we never know who we're going to end up with.
Okay.
And we wanted to see, again, best fit, personable.
And there were very distinctive things. So you're a straight shooter. You
Right.
wanted a doc who was not going to
fluff
brush you aside.
too much.
Yep.
You know, shoot straight, gives you the information. It helps with my medical background, and so understanding, saying, oh, this is this, this, and this, great. I'd rather hear that than say, everything's gonna be fine, where you're coddled into a conversation. And so, it was just, kind of speed dating with doctors.
Yeah. Sophie, were you looking for the same thing, straight shooter, or were you looking for?
I was looking for a little bit of a balance.
Okay.
I also was very aware of like what I know would respond to Lawrence really well, and I wanted to think I would respond to very well. And so a little bit, someone who can play both sides of it, someone who could be more of that straight shooter principal, but also looking to be like, we're gonna be fine, it's gonna be okay, you gotta trust me. What I love about the physician we ended up with, our OB, was that she looked like at me most of every interaction. And she always like looked at me like, hey, this is what's gonna happen, what do you think? She gave me a lot of the attention or focus. I
loved that because it showed like she was tunnel vision on Sophie. She'd glance at me now and again, to say, I know you're still here.
Yeah, I haven't forgotten about
this
you.
is
This is
my person now.
So that I loved about the OB we ended up with.
And so you guys found an OB you really jived with, and that was one of the reasons why you chose to be induced.
Right.
Yep.
Was to have what you considered the best mix of people at the delivery.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it just happened to. I mean, it was really crazy mix of fate because I had an appointment with her and I loved her, and then we were like, man, we really want her. And I remember talking to her. She's like, well, you can get induced at 39 or 40 or 41. And she's like, well, what's your due date? I'm like 5/5. She's like, I'm actually on that weekend. And so we were like, you know what? Let's